Good everyone, this is your European Open briefing for Friday, October the 7th. I'm Rafi Barajan, currency analyst at xm.com, and we're going to be looking at what's happening in the currency markets today. So it's been a pretty volatile session for the pound. The pound saw a flash crash, plunging almost 10% in Asian trading today. It's since recovered to around $1.24. It hit a fresh 31-year low of $1.1378. Although this figure has been revised up, which we'll discuss shortly. The dollar, on the other hand, has extended its gains. It rose to a 10-week high ahead of today's non-farm payrolls report out of the US. The euro, meanwhile, has been drifting lower over the past couple of days. This comes despite some very positive French and German industrial production data. In commodities, crude oil again has been doing well, and it's once again reached fresh 4-month highs. So let's have a look what happened with the pound, because we can see here that there was a sharp spike downwards. The pound initially had fallen to $1.1378. Following the cancellation of some trades, it's now been revised to $1.1819, although this may vary depending on what platform you're looking at. The fall has been blamed on possibly thin liquidity in Asian trading today, or due to algorithmic trading. And some traders have also blamed fat finger, which is when a trader accidentally presses the wrong keys. But pound did manage to recover sharply. It's now currently around $1.24, though this is still down over 1% on yesterday's close. There's been some intense pressure on the pound due to growing concerns on a hard Brexit. The French and German leaders in recent days have hardened their position against the UK before the negotiations start. This follows British Prime Minister Theresa May's speech over the weekend at the Conservative Party conference that the UK will prioritize immigration over access to the single market. And if we have a look at the pound against other currencies, again we see the euro jump to around 1.94 pence, around 0.94 pounds. Against the yen, it fell to just above 124 yen. It's recovered to around 129. The 2-year yields have also gone up today. They're currently at 0.176%. So let's move on to the dollar, because we've got the all-important non-farm payrolls report coming out in the afternoon. We saw the dollar index climb to 97.08. That's a 10-week high, and that was mostly on the back of sterling's fall. Against the yen, it touched a 5-week high of 104.15. It's since settled to around 103.80. So the main focus now is the non-farm payrolls report, which is expected to come in at 175,000. This compares to 151,000 in August. This is going to be closely watched due to growing expectations that the Fed will raise rates in December, so a weak figure could lead to a sell-off in the dollar. Now let's have a look at the euro, because it had been doing well early in the week, but it's been drifting lower now. It came close to falling below $1.11. It's just about holding above that level. This comes after, we had a speech by the ECB's chief economist Peter Praet, and we also had yesterday's meeting minutes of the ECB's September meeting, and both the Praet's speech and the ECB monetary meeting accounts, they pretty much reiterated the ECB stance that they will maintain their ultra loose policy up until they see inflation and pressures rise. And this pretty much quelled recent rumors that the ECB had started making preparations on how they would start cutting back on their QE program. So this has pushed the euro close to around $1.11. But of course, we also have the strong dollar as another factor there. Now looking at commodities and commodity currencies, crude oil has made fresh 4-month highs. We saw US crude climbing above $50 a barrel for the first time since June. It hasn't really helped much commodity currencies. The Aussie and the Kiwi continue to drift lower. We saw the Kiwi fall to 2-month low. It's currently around 0.7120. The Aussie touched the 2.5-week low, and the Canadian dollar, which is very much oil dependent, hasn't benefited at all. We see the US dollar climbing to 1.3250 Canadian dollars. Gold isn't doing too well either, and that's mainly because of the stronger dollar. Yesterday it fell to 4-month low, just below $1,250 an ounce. So let's have a look at today's economic calendar, because it's quite a busy day. We just had German and French industrial production data. Both of them were very positive. German industrial output jumped by 2.5%. This was against expectations of just 0.8% rise in August. French data was also good. French industrial output was up 2.1% versus expectations of 0.7%. Both very positive, though the euro hasn't been much impacted from the data. Coming up shortly, we've got UK industrial output and manufacturing production data, as well as UK trade data. But of course, later in the day, we're going to have the all-important non-farm payrolls. It's expected to come in at 175,000. We also have the Canadian employment report today, so that will also be watched. But pretty much the main focus is, of course, on the US data. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.